As we come on the air tonight, we are following a few fires burning on the western slope. They all spread very fast today. 2 fires burning on either side of Meeker in Rio Blanco County, and now forcing some evacuations there. At last check, the bigger one, the Elk Fire, that one's east of town, burning about 600 acres. The smaller one, the Lee Fire, is to the west. About 100 acres burned so far. And in Garfield County, the Coulter Creek Fire briefly caused some evacuations near Carbondale today. Firefighters have already lifted those tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Meckles.
And I'm Mark Salinger. Governor Jared Polis has declared a disaster emergency for the biggest fire burning out west. That's the Elk Fire, where firefighters say that conditions out there are near record levels. It means now more resources are on the way.
9 News reporter Evan Krugel joins us tonight. Those resources are really getting taxed, Evan, as firefighters here locally are preparing for a very busy weekend ahead.
Yeah, Jenny, here along the Front Range, there are no fire restrictions in place just yet, but the sign behind me tells you all you need to know as they move that arrow from the moderate into the high category. And after responding to a handful of fires across Metro Denver this weekend, firefighters are on high alert as we move into early August in Colorado often brings new colors to the landscape.
It's all very, very dry. It's all very yellow in color. You don't see a lot of greenery anymore. You want to see some green in the open space in the grasses, and we're just not seeing it.
Brian Willie says tall, dry grass went up in flames this afternoon, forcing crews with South Metro to put out a small fire near Eagle Crest High School.
It was slow moving in light vegetation. Got up along the fence line of some houses.
Firefighters were able to get it out quickly, but Brian says it could have been worse.
It's scary because it is so combustible and it is so dry, and we're going into a very, very hot week with absolutely no water to be seen coming from Mother Nature.
On the western slope, multiple fires are still burning, including the Elk Creek Fire near Meeker, where Governor Jared Polis declared a disaster emergency today. More than 24 airplanes and helicopters are fighting fires statewide. In Durango, the air tanker base set a record yesterday, pumping out more than 130,000 gallons of fire retardant for 4 separate fires.
When you see all these fires statewide with everything going on, it just means that there's a lot of resources being used. So we just can't stress enough for everybody to please be careful and watch what you're doing.
Brian wishes help was on the way to bring some green back to these fields, but says highs in the upper 90s all week will only continue the shift from green to yellow.
Yeah, all the crews are on very high alert, and we're just hoping that everybody else takes care and doesn't do anything that causes a spark that spreads anything to a big fire.
Now, the entire western slope does have a red flag warning in place tonight. Again, no such warnings here in Metro Denver, but multiple counties, including Lincoln, Elbert, and Kit Carson, have already enacted fire restrictions. Reporting live tonight in Jefferson County, Evan Krugel, 9 News.
Evan, thank you. Want to bring in Corey Reppenhagen now. Corey, let's talk more about that fire weather. It's been hot this past week, but it's just going to get hotter. We're flirting with the triple digits this week.
Yeah, the weather is really going to turn against the firefighters and in favor of fast fire spread over the next couple of days. That's bad news for those fires that are burning out on the western slope. Evan mentioned some of those in his report just a minute ago, and we can see them from satellite. So there is a filter where you can see the heat from wildfires from 22,000 miles above the earth. And when you get signals like this from that satellite, you know that it is burning hot and it is burning a lot of fuel. These are the 2 fires in Rio Blanco County. Meeker is right about in the middle, so they're literally surrounded by wildfires tonight. This one down here in south of Grand Junction in Mesa County, I believe that is the Turner Gulch Fire refiring, and that's been burning for about a little bit more than 3 weeks now. Here, current temperatures here in Denver, pretty nice night, 80 degrees in downtown Denver, cool, calm conditions throughout the area. Enjoy it because it's all going to end. We're going to have about a 5-day stretch of pretty unusual extreme heat starting tomorrow with those temperatures in the upper 90s. 97 is the forecast in Denver. I'll have more information on that heat wave coming up in the full forecast.
Thank you. Aurora police are asking for the public's help trying to find the suspect in a deadly shooting overnight. Aurora police say 30-year-old Mikel Castellano Fonseca forced his way into an apartment around 3 o'clock this morning on Cimarron Circle. That's near Colfax and I-225. They say he fired several shots, and inside that apartment were 2 adult women and 5 children. A 26-year-old woman died, and a 30-year-old woman was taken to the hospital. None of the children were hurt. APD says he drove away in this car, a green Acura MDX. It was an SUV. License plate is CVO668. Police say this man is considered armed and dangerous, and if you have any information about where he or his car might be, please call 911 immediately.
In Denver, police are investigating 2 shootings that hurt 4 people early this morning. First shooting happened at 19th and Little Raven. That's right near Confluence Park. Police say 1 person was taken to the hospital. We still don't know how they're doing tonight. Police haven't provided any details on what led up to that shooting or if there's any suspect information at this time. Second shooting happened a few hours later at the area of 6th Avenue and Knox. Police say 3 people there suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police also don't have any information about the events leading up to that shooting or the suspect information either. Officials in Montana are warning the public that the murder suspect they're searching for could be coming back to the town where he's accused of shooting and killing 4 people. The manhunt continues for 45-year-old Michael Brown, accused of killing those 4 people at a bar Friday night in Anaconda, Montana. Yesterday, police released this new photo of him. They say he ditched those clothes and fled the scene. As a memorial grew today outside of the bar, state officials stressed that the suspect is armed and dangerous.
Absolutely, there's concerns he might come back into town. By all indications, this is an unstable individual who walked in and murdered 4 people in cold blood for no reason whatsoever. So there absolutely is concern for the public. Again, I'm going to stress, we believe this is an armed and extremely dangerous individual.
Local, state, and federal agencies are all assisting in this manhunt. There's a $7,500 reward out for any information leading to the suspect's arrest.
The Department of Justice is ramping up an effort to get voter data and other election information from the states. This is according to the Associated Press. The AP reports that the DOJ has requested copies of voter registration lists from at least 15 states, including Colorado. The Justice Department demanded from Colorado all records relating to the 2024 election and any records the state retained from the 2020 election. These requests have raised alarm from some state election officials, citing the constitutional authority of the states to run their own elections, as well as federal law protecting individual voter data.
Back in Denver, blue-green algae is blooming again on Sloan's Lake. The problems have been ongoing since 2020, and this year it's having a big impact on an event held every year at the lake. As 9 News reporter Janelle Finch reports, these new health concerns, I should say, were behind the postponement of the Colorado Dragon Boat Festival.
What's on the surface of Sloan's Lake is the business of Sarah Moore.
Yes.
Executive Director of Colorado Dragon Boat.
Yes, this is one of our flag catchers. It's a really beautiful event, and we're really excited to be celebrating 25 years.
Moore says after more than 2 decades, the event is breaking away from tradition.
So historically, Colorado Dragon Boat Festival happens end of July.
This year, the festival is happening in September, not by choice, but because of what's beneath the surface of Sloan's Lake.
It almost looks like food coloring in the water. That blue-green algae is the one that we know is toxic and unfortunately has caused some issues with pets and humans.
Kurt Weaver is the executive director of the Sloan's Lake Park Foundation. He says blue-green algae can make people and pets sick.
If you get a little water splashed on you, you don't have to run to the hospital. It's not like that. But you certainly want to avoid pets drinking out of the lake, swimming in the lake.
Weaver says the Parks and Rec Department isn't pulling people off the lake, but permanent events are canceled through the summer.
Until we get back into September when it's supposed to be cooler, and hopefully that's when the blue-green algae subsides.
So we are actually taking place now in September 6th and 7th.
Moore says the surface of Sloan's Lake is still for now, but the celebration of culture will go on.
We're in constant communication with the Parks Department, and they're working really hard to ensure that we'll be able to have the event here.
That was Janelle Finch reporting. Moore says if these health concerns continue, she may have to move the festival in the future again. That would also mean likely moving outside of Denver because there's no other lake large enough in the city or county. City has allocated $5 million through the Vibrant Denver Bond to support part of the lake's cleanup in the future.